sound outside. I think that is the trash truck. Or the dumpster truck. Anyways, there appears to be a little light right there. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's from this. Hold on. Oh well, it's alright. Anyways, it's story time. Alright. Once upon a time, in the present time, at the moment, there is some backwoods, like, in the hillbilly pumpkin backwoods. Well, in the backwoods, there is a character that lives in these backwoods, and this character is named Bean. BackWood Bean. Now, a bean, there's many different types of beans. There's kidney beans, there's black beans, there's lima beans, there is black-eyed peas. I definitely know there's those white beans. I don't know the exact name for it, but there's many different beans. But this backwood bean that lives in the backwoods of Louisiana, this is a kidney bean. It's a red bean, and this bean is about this tall. It's quite small, but it's actually quite big if you think about it, because a normal red bean, kidney bean, is about that big. This bean is kind of like this big, a little bit of mutant, slightly. So, let's draw a picture of this backwood bean, and you find a pencil. Alright, the backwood bean is round. Well, not round, it's oval shaped. The backwood bean has little eyes and a very prominent eyebrow, shaped like this bean is always mad or something, and a little mouth, smiling, happy, and little legs, like little twigs for legs, and has a little, so for some reason, the backwood bean has tiny horns on its head. They're basically little knobs. And of course, being a backwood bean would have a nice little hat on. Just like this little hat. Of course, and there's a belt going across. And with a big knife, huge knife. A knife and little trousers on. Of course, a little shirt. Can't be too backwood here. Anyways, this right here is a backwood bean. Has a knife for chopping away at those alligators and big pythons that slither around at the basin, because Louisiana is very swampy, some parts of it, and where the backwood bean lives, very swampy. It's full of canals, and there's alligators, and some get very large. Remember that the backwood bean is only like this big. This is almost the size of a very big alligator's eye. An eyeball of a giant 20-foot alligator is probably this big. Same size as the backwood bean. But the thing is, the backwood bean is very smart in knowing how to fight off alligators, especially when they come to the backwood bean. was no roof. Maybe I'll get a different piece of paper. No, it's alright. Alright, just imagine it's a box. Now, the kitchen area is right here in the middle. So when you walk in the door, here's the front door. You walk in, kitchen here, there's like the refrigerator, like that, see, little window here, look outside in the backyard. You walk in, this whole area right here is the living room. It's quite large, and if you see, there's a wall right here, and that's where there's a TV there, but it doesn't work. The BackWood Bean doesn't have time for watching TV. The BackWood Bean has time for adventuring and going all along the swamps. Usually, the BackWood Bean is out pretty late at night time, of course coming back with all types of items that they've collected, using that big sword, huge knife of theirs, to do the job. Anyways, so TV's here, does not work. If you walk down the hallway here, it's walk around, there's like in the wall, there's a bathroom right here, there's a little toilet, there's a bathtub right here. Of course the bathtub is filled with things, it's not being used. The part of the living room right here is kind of flooded. Well, actually no, it's right here. This is the dining room. This is the part that's flooded. And this is basically where the BackWood Bean takes baths. And of course the hole in the floorboards is so small that no alligators or snakes can get through. So sometimes there'll be a little tiny fish, but besides that, the BackWood Bean has quite a secret and private bath. No fishes bother the BackWood Bean. And then here is a doorway going to the porch. The porch is outside. It wraps around is the water that the BackWood Bean drinks. So it drinks water, comes around here, excuse me, comes around here, opens the porches, comes through, sits and drinks some coffee. And you're probably thinking, well, if the BackWood Bean is drinking coffee, a coffee bean is a bean, how would that be? Well, the thing is, regular coffee beans, before they're cooked, are living beans. They walk around, they do everything the same as a red bean, a kidney bean. But the thing is, when they've gotten too old and they pass on, they're actually used to make coffee. So what a bean is actually drinking, the BackWood Bean, is a past coffee bean that died of old age or something. And this, it sounds weird, but the blanishing of the beans, all the beans in them, I guess drinking another bean will give everlasting life. No, we don't. Nobody knows that. It doesn't. I really don't know. I cannot give you that answer there, but it's just safe. It's okay to drink. It's all right. Anyways, the BackWood Bean drinks up the coffee, then goes back inside, opens up the door, goes, and of course, all of this around here is actually water. There's water here. It's a houseboat, and of course there's a little dip here. There's a little dip here, and this is built on the side where it doesn't fall into the water. It's like one of those, you know, if you see those campers that the sides open up. Same thing here with the porch. So the BackWood Bean then walks around and, you know, gets on the little boat. It has some oars, little paddles, and this little bean just rows around, does a little loop round here and there. Of course, brings the fishing pole, starts fishing. Oh no, got something on the bowl. Oh my goodness, look at that fish. That is a very large fish we just caught. Holy cow. My goodness, gotta remove the hook. My goodness, a very large fish. And then the BackWood Bean. If it's a good tasty fish, the BackWood Bean would keep it, but if not, just throw it back. Plop. Anyways, so let's see. And you're probably wondering, what is the BackWood Bean living most everybody else there as well. Also, BackWood Beans, they have very same characteristics. They have the unibrow, very angry looking, but Bean is the only one that has horns for some reason. They don't know, it must have been some beauty marker, just growths on the side of her head that made horns. And they're red as well, but they're not as a little bit bigger, just a little bit of a runt, slightly. They are about this size. Bean is about this size. So, and she lives quite happily in a houseboat. She, to maintain, well, she really doesn't need a job. She's adventurous. She goes about scavenging things. She'll go into town because she's made different items. She likes to make clay and pots and pans and things like that. And she makes them the swamp clay, the very bottom of what's the place called? Ed Biddell's swamp. It's not too far away from her houseboat. But she goes there and collects the clay because there's a lot of charcoal in it. It's very black. She forms it into pots. And then burns it in the fire. And she takes those pots, brings them to the marketplace and sells them, gets a very pretty penny for them. And that is so the BackWood Bean does not need to work. The BackWood Bean does not need a normal job like a lot of other beans have. And in this world, there's a lot of other beans, but the BackWood Bean is kind of one of a kind with their family. There's not a lot of kidney beans in the swamps of Louisiana, so they're holding up the tradition very well. And yes, anyways, her job is to scavenge